First of all, and not to attack you, but you.
I was reading and didn't look up. Which one of us were you pointing at?
You.
Shoot.
Not to attack you, but I always have found it odd that you said that you would drop your kids off at, not the pool, but you drop your kids off at Michael Jackson's house and have no problem about it.
Right.
Because I personally, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that, but that's your decision and that's fine. Now, if you had a boyfriend and he had been found not guilty by reason of insanity and killing your handicapped daughter,
I would drop my kids off at his house.
you'd think that you wouldn't want this guy still around, right?
Right.
You're right, because he's insane and he killed your handicapped daughter. Well, now he's killed the son, this lady's son. Just happened. The body of a 6-year-old boy was found in an oven at his home on Friday, and his mother's boyfriend was charged with capital murder. The suspect, old Ken whatever, previously had been found not guilty by reason of insanity in the 1996 slaying of the handicapped sister. What is wrong with people?
Well, that guy's crazy.
Well,
What's wrong with the mommy? Yeah.
You kill my child, I kill you.
Right.
That's it. I don't care if you're insane. I don't know. I kill you.
I think Gretchen keeps one eye on me all the time just so I don't take the kids out drinking.
He spent 6 months in state mental hospitals beginning in 98 after he was found not guilty by reason of insanity in the December 1996 beating death of his 25-year-old sister who had cerebral palsy.
That's like that. Well, no, it's not. It's much worse than that story about that guy whose pit bull killed his grandson and he kept the dog.
Yeah, like our neighbor.
Your neighbor?
I told you that. We all stared at him out of our houseboat. My dad's like,
oh, yeah, this is the story. That's the story.
Oh, okay. That's the man that has that dog right there.
Has the dog that killed the nail that bit the... Yeah.
They can't believe it. Nobody can believe it. Now he doesn't talk to his daughter because she won't talk to him.
No, I wouldn't.
You kept the dog that killed my kid?
I'm telling you right now, if Sid ate Dante, I would think, God, Dante's an incredible wuss. That's what I think.
Hey, you never know. Those little yappy dogs could be... I'm not kidding. There was this dog named Sadie.
Yeah?
And it was our next-door neighbor's dog, and that dog was blind, and it would flip out all the time, and it was a yappy dog, but it'd bite tar out of you.
I am telling you, Sid could grow wings and fangs, and you just beat him.
I know that this sounds pathetic, but little yappy dogs can be terrifying. I've been terrified by a yappy dog.
I'm terrified by Sid every time I look at his weird little aging face.
But imagine he gets old and blind and freaked out. He could bite you, and it's scary, and then that Sadie would chase us around the thing. Everybody's just afraid of Sadie.
I got a question for you.
What?
How are you ever going to tell that Sid's grown old? He looks like that pre-old disease where people age and don't grow up. They just age to be 100, like by the time they're 6. That's what he looks like.
Well, because he'll get that degenerative hip disease, and then you have to put a little wagon on the back.
5 months to live. You know my rule.
You're starting to tell me a story, but I had to go.
It's just,
number one.
Since you had told such an incredibly downer story, I thought I would jump in with a little downer story of my own. So, my wife's brother, Derek, is in Iraq and has a very, very, very bad job. Like one of the worst jobs you can have in Iraq. Most dangerous. He's the guy on the lead Hummer facing backwards.
Everybody I know, by the way, and just not to take it away from you because I believe you, but everybody I've met, their son or husband or brother has the most...
I'll even back off from saying the world's most dangerous job. I'll just tell you his job.
Okay.
His job is lead Humvee. That's his job. And he's the guy that stands facing backwards with that machine gun.
I mean, not a good job.
Not a good job. Maybe not the most... he's also a landmine expert.
Right.
That's
not a good job
That's
either.
his specialty.
The old side specialty of landmines.
So, his mother and father get a call from the commander in the middle of the night and say, hi, this is Commander so-and-so. I'm calling to give you this message. And, of course, they just...
Well, yeah.
Flip, break down crying. What has happened, I guess I'm allowed to say this, and the government won't come get me. Somebody in his battalion was, in fact, killed. But they black out, like, email and stuff like that for 24 hours till people are notified that their son died or whatever that is. And because the news was leaking out already, the battalion captain or whoever it is, the colonel, had to call every single family member of the people who weren't
Oh,
killed.
that's crazy.
So he basically was calling to say your son is not the guy that got killed.
Wow.
But up until you say that part, you're waiting for that moment. I mean,
your heart stops.
These poor parents. And then my mother and father-in-law are so, not just religious, but so decent and sweet. It did not take them as long as it took me to realize somebody else's son is dead.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I immediately went, oh, Derek's not dead. How bitchin' is that? Woohoo! And then everybody looked at me like I was scum and said, somebody else's kid is dead.
We haven't heard from that guy who's the communications specialist, that's called us from there.
Yep.
We haven't heard from him for a while.
I know, and he's a communications specialist. You think anybody in the battalion that was going to communicate would be the communicator.
Yeah, I hope he's okay.
Me too. I hope they're all okay.
Well, yeah.
Boy, I would hate to be changing my opinions on this war. We should get it done. Because I was all for it.
Yeah, but did you know? Spain's pulling out.
Yep.
Because that prime minister
Caved.
dude. Yeah, and that makes me so mad.
Makes me mad,
You
too.
know why? Because now, I know we always say, we joke like the terrorist one, but they did. And so what's going to happen now, it's going to be that trickle-down thing.
Right.
I'm a vopper, but they probably call it something better than that, where now they're going to terrify every country.
That stayed in.
No, during elections. It worked.
Oh, right. I see what you mean.
Yeah, it worked. It was right during the elections, and then everybody, went out in the streets and protested. This guy said, I'll pull back our troops if you elect me. They elected him. He's pulling the troops out.
But with the kidnappings, and no, the Osama truce, not one country backed out on that.
Right, I know.
That was good.
But Kerry still supports the war, doesn't he, or not? Do we know?
I believe he supports, now that we're in, we have to finish it up. He does not support the fact that we went in the first place.
Because I was going to say, if he doesn't support it, what they'll do, again, is they'll blow something up, and then he'll go, see? Now, pick me. I'm pulling out the troops.
I disagree with you. Because...
But I don't know if he supports it or not.
I think, no matter what he feels, I think that if they do another 9/11 type attack on this country and Kerry says, hey, I will pull our troops out, that will be the death nail.
Well, it worked for Spain.
Right. But they're Spanish.
Well, right. But
I think if they did something else to this country, we would then just level their entire country and say, we're done with you.
But unfortunately, it's not the country that's, it's not the actual people.
Yeah, but I've become okay with that now.
Just what? The
saturation bombing.
Atomic bomb?
Yep.
I don't know what to do because, like I'm in charge. Oh my God, what are we going to do? Because
that's one of the things I hate about my wife.
Those little bastards or those little hold-up guys that don't know, what's going on are the ones that are killing our peeps.
Right. It's what they call it, spray and pray. They just stick a machine gun out the window, break it through the glass, and spray without even putting their heads up and kill everything and shoot everything in sight and then pray about it.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very...
It's no poop your pants story, but, it's current.
And then that was way more fun.
Yeah.
This one, not so much fun. Hi, welcome to Monday. We'll be your downer show.
As opposed to every other day.
Oh, my God. Well, it could be this day. Now, this is a bad day for you.
Yeah, what do you got?
A man has died in a car crash less than 3 months after winning $10 million in the state lottery. That's a bummer.
It is.
What's funny? Tell me.
Just he was kind of cute.
That's not cute.
Come on, it's an Alanis Morissette song if I ever heard one.
Well, it is that, but it's not Rain on Your Wedding Day. Old James Craig, he's only 43 years old. He died early Saturday when his car hit a utility pole in a rainstorm. He'd been shooting pool before the crash. Oh.
Yeah, but can't you, just don't you hear Alanis right now? It was a Monday morning when he won all that cash. How ironic when his car did crash. Just, isn't it ironic?
It's just sad, that's all.
Yeah.
You win all that money, you finally get to quit your job, and hell, you die.
Hell.
It's not right. It's just like when you work your ass off and you finally get to retire, and breathe, and especially the people that work, way past their retirement.
By the way, coming up at 6:40 this morning, stories that don't involve dead people. Make sure to stay tuned.
Yay, what, Jack Elongation?
It didn't have to happen. He could have, first of all, now he can afford a car that's really safe.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he has $10 million. And he could have bought his own pool table and just stayed at home and not gone out in the rain.
So it's his fault.
It is his. Do you know Jack does not think like any other person I know?
Well, yeah, he made this his fault. He shouldn't be out because
he already said something to me this morning that was like, I thought, here's the thing. And he said, oh, no, here's the thing. It's like, that wasn't the thing 2 seconds ago, Mr. Change
What
Everything
is the
guy.
thing?
I don't remember. I just remember Jack having the other
you can't
side
like
of it.
tell us a story that's not a story.
I just don't remember.
What was it, Jack? You don't know either? You both had a story that wasn't a thing that was a thing, and nobody knows what the thing was?
Well, the thing might have involved one of our bosses, so I'm not telling you.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. Where I was really scared and thought he might kill somebody.
Oh, I wasn't.
I was.
No.
See, you know what? Because I have that effed up mentality
Yes.
where I think everybody is as violent as I am, when a guy that big starts throwing around pieces of paper and yelling, he's no longer my boss. He's some guy that might kill me, and I need to prepare right now.
No, because that is like, well, first of all, he's a... I've seen him act before, and he's pretty good at it. It's when the quiet type that aren't, that don't talk.
Right.
Because I think he's a lot of output, but he doesn't get a lot of input.
See, I was scared.
Because he was barking a lot. But it's okay. I like him. And he gets to stay. And so that means, I should probably kiss his ass or something. But anyway, there's this guy named Greg Cassidy, and he was really quiet, and he was our boss.
Yeah.
Now, when he threw a trash can across the floor at us, I mean, across the room, not the floor. It was myself and my old partners.
Yeah, that's kind of bowling.
Yeah, I was well, one of the guys was kind of fat and wobbly. It was myself and my old partners.
Right.
And he threw a trash can across the room at us.
Yeah.
That's when you knew the quiet Christian lover was mad.
I remember that scene in The Passion where the Romans started throwing trash cans at that guy. That was mad.
Well,
That's one mad Christian.
Well, it's scary when the quiet, nice guy gets mad. I mean, because Greg is such a nice guy, and he's religious and stuff.
So out of us, it's Jack. That's the one we have
yeah,
to worry about.
When you see Jack get so mad that he throws something across the room or something, I mean, it's scary. That part's scary.
Right, but I don't necessarily agree with you. See the big, giant crazy man over there?
Yeah.
You'd think, okay, he's the big crazy man,
Yeah,
don't
but-
worry. He's actually physically attacked me at least 10 times.
I know, but the thing is, with him, and I'm also, a little high strung. If somebody talks down to you, oh, this one's a good one, you know what I mean? And shut you down and make you realize how stupid you are.
I hate that.
Yeah, but it shuts you down. Whereas Jack, the quiet, nice guy, you can't say, hey, really good one, mouthy, because he's not that guy.
All right, so basically, we're allowed to talk, and Jack is Dahmer.
Yes.
Good, all right, I'm
Yeah,
glad we settled
yeah.
that, yeah.
Bag from Easter.
In case you're just tuning in, it's Danny Bonaducci and Princess Leia in the morning.
My sister, when I was back for Easter,
Hates you.
I came in, I go, oh my God, your hair grew, and I'm I've had hair extensions, so I'm an idiot. And she had this thing wrapped in her bun, so
Right.
it made it look like a thick bun. But it's basically hair on wire.
Yeah.
So she did the, what's that TV show? They sang a Christmas song. It's from, I look like the little girl from Oompa. Or,
No. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Yeah, I look like that little girl. It's hair on wire.
Cindy Lou Who?
Yeah, that's who I am.
Cindy Lou Who?
So it's this blonde hair on wire, and my sister let me have it because she was going to get another one made. And basically, you just it's like a twist tie of hair, and you can make pigtails that stick out this way or up, or I can make down ones. I can make downward dogs. Look at that one.
Wow.
Hair
That
on wire.
distorted.
I know. I don't know where you get it. We got it ours in Southern Illinois.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Those are so ill.
They are.
Extensions.
I know. Well, because the the clippy with hair is still in back there.
Really?
And now they went to hair on wire, which is kind of impressive. But my dad.
It'd make an awesome merkin.
Oh, yeah. My dad the other day when we were back home, so I'm standing in the driveway. What? Jack, it's not a clown suit.
No,
He doesn't mean with the hair.
I look like a country singer?
Yeah, they always have stupid hair.
Speaking of country singers, might have a treat for you a couple days from now.
I'm looking forward to the Flame-worthy Awards on Wednesday.
Why would they name it that? Doesn't it sound like the
homo
gayest
thing?
guy award?
Yeah.
Hey, you're flame-worthy.
Keith Urban's going to win. Take your cat and I want my sweater.
I don't know. I Love This Bar. Probably one of the coolest songs
that's
ever.
a great song. Great song. A lot of those seem like crossover songs, by the way, that we could be playing.
No,
But
you know why they don't? Because they twang.
Oh.
Not like Shania
Hell.
Twain who just sings.
Anyway,
These guys really twang.
I was in the driveway at my dad's house back at home, and there was this old Chevy pickup that came sputtering up there, like the what's that? The Bing Bang. What do I Bing Bang? Ooh. Yes, that's right. It was like a chitty chitty bang bang Chevrolet.
Can you even say that?
Chitty chitty bang bang. Wow, you're right.
If you were, Conchita Alonso, I don't think you could say that on the radio.
Wow, I bet they were trying for something there.
They were. Oh, they're
chitty,
always.
Chitty, bang, bang.
I told you.
Anyway, so this.
Who knew that movie was so bad? And Jodie Foster was in it, and she turned.
Yeah. Yeah. The Chevy came sputtering up, and this guy comes out of the door, and he goes, "Where's your pops?" And I said, "Oh, he's inside." And he goes, "I got something for him. He asked for it." And I said, "Oh, all right, well, should I get him?" He goes, "Oh, that's okay. I'll just leave right here." He goes, "Here, grab a bucket." So I grab a bucket, and he goes, "This is rat poop. Not rat poop. Rabbit poop."
Right.
I go, "Why does my dad want rabbit poop?"
Why does your dad want rabbit poop?
Worm farm.
You know what? Me and Bob have a lot in common, and you hassle me. I wanted a fish farm.
Worm farm. Worm.
Yeah, well, it's, he's got a bad knee.
Worm.
How hard can it be to wrangle a worm?
Worm farm. My father is a professor. He's a zoologist. He's a photographer. He's not a worm farmer.
No. He is a professor. He is a zoologist. He is a photographer, and he is a worm farmer, and you leave that man alone.
Oh, Jack, worm farming. So what does your pops do now that he's retired? Oh, he farms the worms. Yeah, they bring in a load of rabbit poop, and you put it in there. It acts as like a blanket for them worms, but, it's a little early in the season for them to start procreating or whatever.
The next time I say I'm going to be a professional hang glider, and you all turn on me, I'm going to look at you and say, "Your dad."
But Bob is doing it, and he's going to sell worms.
I sell pizza.
I mean, what has happened to the college professors now selling worms, you guys?
I think it's retirement, and he fishes all day. That's his thing.
Uh-huh.
You do what your thing is.
But he's like, "I got packaging. I got Bob's professional worms." I'm like, "Dad, what makes it professional?" He goes, "I don't know. I got this packaging, and I'm going to package them, and it's Bob's Pro Worms."
I'm willing to invest.
Oh, don't.
He's Bob the professor. He is smart, and a zoologist. He's smart enough to grow the very best worms. He's a photographer, so he can take pictures to prove he has the best
And
worms.
they'll be posing.
See?
Oh, God. This guy, like with no teeth, just drops off all this rabbit poop.
I wish it were Friday so we could talk to Bob, and I could offer to kick in the Bob's Famous Worm Farm.
God. I'm like, are you kidding? You're doing this as a joke, right?
Every now and again, he is on a pack of Oxycontin. He might
I
just
know.
change his mind about the worm thing in mid-worm growth.
I know. Oh, now he claims he doesn't take the Oxycontin anymore. It was kind of crazy. The bricks were talking to me, he said.
That'll happen.
I can't take that stuff anymore. Those bricks were speaking to me.
I want to go party with Bob so bad.
No, you'll farm worms.
I will farm worms.
Jack, what does my dad become?
Awesome and fun and me.
There's this guy I want to date, and he's like super cool, like super fly, super cool. And I might go out with him, but I can't take him home to Bob.
Well, then just don't take him home for a while.
You know how usually I can't be taken home to other people's parents?
Yes.
I can't bring home people to mine. I mean, it's not good.
That's easy. We'll get a fake Bob. We'll find a cool old guy, like an old artist or something. You can bring him to that guy and say it's your dad.
And he'll be wearing like Prada and stuff instead of black socks and sandals.
I've done that. They did a Where Are They Now, and I lived in a shack, so I went to some guy's really fancy house and put up pictures of my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll rent a dad. Yeah, not that I'm ashamed of my father, because I love
No,
my
I
father.
understand.
He's really fun, but for this particular individual.
All right, we need to find the right dad
Yeah.
for you. Somebody like George Hamilton, except that not that tan.
And more interesting.
Ooh, you're in some trouble. Is that you?
What?
That.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
Trying to be your
twisty, the wire of hair. But I'm not leaving it like that. Anyway, hi you guys. It's Monday morning. Oh my God, there's lots going on. We have what? Mamma Mia tickets to give away. We also have what the hell is that called? The splatter tickets for the boxing at Staples Center.
How many of those do we
Saturday.
have to give away? That's a big ass deal.
I have no idea. Monica will let us know how many of those we have. By the way, also Lakers game 2 tonight. Jack, you going? Jeannie Buss call you?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Thought so.
He'll be in the splatter seats
Yeah.
in case Jack Nicholson throws up.
Lakers game 2. Nice. yesterday, no, that's not true. It was Saturday.
4 years ago.
Have you all had, I don't know if it was a panic attack or a slow speed meltdown about your life?
Who's she talking to, Jack? Yes.
I had the weirdest thing happen. On Saturday, after this happened, I just got in my car and I teared.
Why?
I kind of wept a little bit.
Why?
About being single.
You know what? I to be honest with you, I've seen this coming on.
It was so sad. I was at the Bank of America on Saturday, and I was driving the Hummer, and I pull in, and everything's cool, and there's this guy. And he walks up to me and goes, "Hey, that thing hard to drive?" And I was, cordial. I was like, "Oh, no, actually, once you get the hang of it, it's pretty cool to drive, blah, blah, blah. It's no big deal." I said, "It's not mine, but, it's easy to drive." And then, no, that's not true. I didn't say it's not mine. I lied. He goes, "So, you got a husband?" I go, "Oh, no, don't need a sugar daddy. Bought it with my own damn
Good
money."
for you.
I was just like saying like that.
Yeah, because I, by the way, just would find that offensive. You must have a husband because you have a Hummer.
That's why I said that. And
I would be offended.
Yeah, because that's exactly why I went that way. Because I was like, okay, everybody thinks that if you have stuff that it must be a guy.
Yeah, if I see a gorgeous woman in a beat up old car, I think, well, there's a girl who won't take, just some guy with money.
Kidding.
I always admire that.
That's good too. I agree. So I'm like, nope, don't need a sugar daddy. Blah, blah, blah. And he goes, "So what kind of gas mileage?" I'm like, 8 miles per gallon.
Yeah. This is definitely a woman with a job.
And then he just keeps talking to me about it, and I'm like kind of walking towards the bank, right? And so he follows me. He goes, "So what do you do?" Well, I'm not gonna tell him. I go, "Oh, I sell the air." Have you ever seen that movie with Billy Crystal? He sells radio advertising. So he says he sells the air. And he goes, "What does that mean?" I go, "Oh, I sell advertising for K-Earth."
Nice. Pick the boring station.
Well, it's like, So I'm like, "Oh, I sell radio advertising for K-Earth." And he's like, "Oh, well, that's great." So I'm Jerry. And he sticks out his hand. I'm still walking. I go, "Hi, Jerry, I'm Jane." Well, because I'm not interested in Jerry.
Right, but it seems early in the relationship to start lying.
He's already bothered me for 20 minutes. And I keep walking.
All right.
So I keep walking. Now, by this time, I'm all the way from the parking lot to the steps of Bank of America. I've walked. And he's like, "It sure would be great to get a ride in that Hummer." Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's trouble. We're in trouble now.
Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh, well, you know what? Go get yourself a test drive at Cerritos Hummer."
Very nice. Good.
It's just that simple. And then
Getting assaulted while giving a plug to a sponsor. Very nice.
And then I kept walking up the steps, and he's like, "So, do you want to have lunch sometime?" And I'm like, "No, you know what, Jerry? I'm going through something." And he goes, "Well, I'm going through something too. I've been through something. I see the future as something." And I'm like, "That's great, Jerry. But, I'm not interested." And he goes, "Do you have a card or anything? Because maybe after you're going through something, you'd be interested in having lunch." And I'm like, he's like crazy persistent.
Yeah, now he's way all over.
So now I have the door open to Bank of America.
Right.
And I'm walking in. And he goes, "Hey, are you sure? Like, let's just ride around the block. And I'd like to see what that Hummer does." I go, "Well, it just sits there right now. That's what it does there, right, Jerry." And he goes, "Well, do you have a card? Do you have a pen? Let me write down my number." And I'm like, "Jerry, I'm really, really not interested." I go, "I have issues." And he goes, "Who doesn't have issues? Everybody
has.
Everybody has issues, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Well, I'm going through a very messy divorce, and I'm not in a position to date right now."
Right. It would hurt my case.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I didn't say that, but I'm like,
well, whatever. That's what that implies.
He's like, "I have been through a divorce, and I can help you out with all the, like."
Oh.
So now I'm up, and I'm not kidding, and I'm not intimidated by a lot of people because I'm in a public place. I don't feel that threatened.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm up against the wall holding the door open, and it was weird because it's like nobody would help me, but they saw that I was like, "Hey, Jerry, I got to go. I got to go in the bank now. I have an appointment. I got to go." But it wasn't their place to help me.
See, it's not a place to help yet.
But I was really getting worried.
Yeah.
Now
but you know what I really admire? That in the middle of your assault, you plugged a sponsor. It's like, "Hey, if you don't stop right now, I'm going to call for help on my Singular Wireless."
Well,
my attack dog that is
trained.
fed on Perino 1.
We've been trained.
Yeah.
So now I see, well, first of all, and this is crazy, but now I see how people get abducted in public,
Right.
if you will, because, everybody's minding their own business. I'm trying to be cordial, and I realize cordial isn't working out.
Right.
So finally, I'm like, Jerry, I have got an appointment. I have got to go inside now. And so he's like, well, I didn't mean to offend you. And then he starts like, where I'm having to apologize. I go, you didn't offend me, Jerry. I just got to go. And he's like, well, isn't it something? That's why there's so many single, lonely people in this world, because nobody will take time to talk or meet one another.
Ooh, all of a sudden, he throws out a reasonable point at this juncture.
He goes, I'm an attractive-looking man, and you're an attractive-looking woman, and there's no reason why you should be alone. And I guess it's just because you don't take time for others.
Oh.
So I go in the bank.
Harsh, dude.
Yeah. And it's already a sad trip to the bank because
Did you tell him your cat was hot?
No, it's already a sad trip to the bank because I'm going to my lockbox to get a bracelet that I had in there because I wasn't ready to wear it. It was on my mom's arm when she died.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. So, it's already a bad trip. So I go in there, I get this bracelet, put it on my arm, like, ugh. I go out to sit in my car and I just start crying.
Oh.
And I call my girlfriend because I have great friends I just adore. And I'm like, she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I have to get married. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you don't understand. If I just would have had a ring on my finger, none of this would have happened. I mean.
So is the answer by a ring?
No, she goes, well, don't you want to get married for all the wrong reasons? I'm like, it's not. And then that pissed me off. I'm like, that's not the point. But this guy just hassled me and said I'm a single woman because I don't bother to notice others and I don't bother to talk to others. And maybe he has a point. And she's like, what are you talking about?
Well, I don't mean to take the other side here, but if I may, I do have questions about a woman like you. I sat under our billboard the other day. Okay, so you're not that attractive. That billboard, you're so hot, I can't stand it.
Yeah, but it's not me.
Yeah, well, it's got some of your parts.
Yeah.
It's got kind of your eyes.
No, it
but
doesn't.
anyway.
They painted them blue.
Oh, then I'm wrong. But I mean, you're a really pretty girl,
Thanks.
right? And you have a really good job and all that stuff, and you want to be married. So don't you think maybe some of this has to do with you?
Not that day.
No, not that day. Not that day. But I mean, in general, if it seems to me that if I were you and I wanted to get married, I'd have my pick, I think.
You think that, but you don't.
Really? Is that it?
Yeah, you absolutely don't. First of all, a lot of people.
Because I'm me and I'm
this
married.
This is a shocker. A lot of people don't want to be talked about on the air. It is the weirdest thing.
I know, and you really. I mean, one of the things you said on the show that I will never forget, and I thought I have got the absolute right partner when you said it. You're desperately in love and flipping out about how much you love this guy, and he doesn't want to be talked about on the radio, and then you talk about him on the radio. We get to a break, and I went, what the hell is wrong with you? You're in love with this man, and all he requested was to not be spoken about on the air. And you thought for a second, you went, I love this show more than I love this guy. And
yeah,
I thought,
because this is a commitment.
I thought you are fully in, man.
Well, because this I have a commitment to, and these guys, you date.
But I didn't know you were then going to proceed to just completely destroy their lives. That was the news to me.
Yeah. Well, I've done better lately.
You have.
Except for Jason's mad that we called him Rocket Boy.
Why Rocket Boy rocks?
I'm like, it's on your helmet.
Yeah, Rocket Boy rocks.
I don't know. He's upset about it.
No, I think everyone that rides Suzuki, the greatest motorcycle in the world, should wear a Rocket Boy helmet.
Anyway, so I had this.
I had a dentist appointment the other day.
Yeah.
My Suzuki did it instead. Filled my teeth. It's an amazing motorcycle.
It's that great.
Yeah, it's that good.
But I don't know if you all have ever had slow speed coming parts. Either being single, because I just wanted a ring on my finger so that guy would, leave me alone. Or have you all had like panic attacks or meltdowns because this is all there is in marriage?
Okay, I cannot believe that we're going to go with the phone should theoretically go crazy. If our topic is,
Both.
Have you ever had a meltdown because, well, just for me, because I'm the other side of you.
Right.
I'm married with children and love and couldn't be happier, right? On
Yeah.
most days.
Right.
But if you're going to ask the question whether it's because you're single or because you're married, but the end result is, so is this all there is? Theoretically, the phone should go crazy with people who have had meltdowns on
Right,
this.
but I mean, ultimately, though, you realize it's stupid. I mean, I was okay at the end of the day, but then I was like, I can't believe I fell apart about being single. You would love to be single.
Well, no, I would like to have sex with women I'm not married to. That's entirely
Right.
different.
And I
want to be married and cheat.
And that's the 8 o'clock hour.
Right.
Call Jamie and Dan.
happened.
What happened was...
We're talking about...
This is a sad one.
Yeah. Slow speed come aparts when you're single or when you're married. When you're married, you're like, oh my God. Like, I hoped, I dreamed, I wanted, and this is it. This is all there is. And then mine was, this guy just hassled me all day on Saturday. Well, not all day, but for a really long time. And why are you single? And, you're a pretty girl. And the reason why is you don't open yourself up to others. And, just...
See, the problem is at the end there, I mean, he was a creep all the way up to it. I guess he's a creep all the way through. But at the end, he hit a nerve that he probably didn't know he was hitting.
Well, I mean, he just made me feel bad, and then I had a slow speed come apart in my car. I was just like, oh my God, if I would just have been with somebody, if I would answer the first question with, so you have that car, you must be with somebody. And I'm like, nope, no sugar daddy, just bought it myself. If I would have just said, yeah, I'm married or engaged or had a boyfriend, but instead I told the truth.
Yeah, but you're not upset because a guy hit on you. You're upset because you really are, in fact, alone.
Well, I'm upset because... No, I am upset that first of all, he went out of his way and it was uncomfortable and that bothered me because if I would have had somebody, he would have shut him down.
So you wouldn't be having this issue today if he hadn't
If I wasn't alone.
Right. So in fact, that's the real thing.
So it's both. But then Jack told me that it's like, what happened to you at the mall?
The encyclopedia guy was trying to sell me encyclopedias, and I said no. And then he turned to me and said, well, you don't care about your kid's education? It's the same thing. He just tried to make me feel bad because I wouldn't buy what he was selling. So this guy was selling himself to Jamie, and she wasn't buying, so he tried to hit, he took a low blow.
Right.
He
so
took a low blow,
imagine you get in your car and you're thinking, do I really care about my kid's education? Because then you're mad at yourself for letting somebody get to you, too. So
and of course, I have the reverse because I have what I feel to be the perfect family, which is ruined by me. Okay? If I wasn't in that picture and she married a person,
right,
her life and the kid's life would all be perfect, but I throw a little chink in that armor, if you will. But I have the reverse problem, man. If in this particular, luckily, I'm the shallowest man in the shallowest city in America.
Yeah.
So when Miss September comes up to me and says, I love your show. I listen to Jamie and Danny every morning. And she says something that lets me know she's available. I get back in my car and go, damn it, I have the perfect family. I hate them.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, but it's just as true.
Call Jamie and Danny now. 1-877-487-9999.
Yes.
Alrighty, we're taking your single and married meltdowns. We see you guys there. Hold on. More upsetting that I cried in my car Saturday after some loser tried to hit on me over and over, and then I was sad that I was single and I wept, or thousands of people learning to dance with their dogs.
I'm going to go with thousands of people learning to dance with their dogs.
What the hell is this about?
It just says there are thousands of people more lonely than you.
Oh, they learn the lively cha-cha with their chow-chow. Oh, Jesus. It's the International Canine Freestyle Conference.
The only thing that would make it worse is if you cried because you don't have a dog.
I don't have a dance partner.
Oh, my God. The group started independently of each other in England and Canada in 1989 and spread to the United States and Japan. Organizers figure there are 9,000 participants.
First of all, I don't like that a trend came from there to here. Our trends go there.
I don't even like it at all.
No, me either.
Top canine freestyle trainers can command $800 a day.
Your dancing Dalmatian better do, the laundry.
Dogs who are highly rated by judging panels carry considerable bragging rights for their owners. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
That's a lie. Somebody is lying to these people.
You're the spaz of the world.
Oh, my God. You're like a bowler. Those people brag, too. Yeah, I got 300.
Well, if you got a 300, you get the brag.
Let's see here. Holds the world freestyle. Oh, Patumala. Tag, a Pembroke Welsh Corgi owned by Ellen Pearson of Patumala, California, holds the world's freestyle dog excellence rating and is one of only a few of the breed to compete.
Well, that's just tragic.
Danny, these people are dancing with their damn dogs.
Yeah, they are. And they shouldn't be. It's wrong. I mean, I do tricks with my dog and Dante.
Like?
Well, I hold a peanut up for Sid, and he can stand on his hind legs forever. He's like I forget what they are.
Beggar?
Yes. And he twirls around, but that's just to keep his balance. He's not dancing, but he twirls in a circle right? And Dante came up and he wanted the peanut. So he leaned his head back and he started to twirl. And now I have competitions. And I swear to God, Sid wins every time. Dante falls over within 3 or 4 twirls.
Well, you know what? That kid is just not motivated enough.
I think he might have daddy's equilibrium.
Or something else of daddy's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope he hasn't been getting into that cabinet. That'd explain a lot.
All right. Anyway, we're talking about those slow speed come apart you have when you're single or when you're married and you can't believe it, but you actually cried about it like I did, like Danny has.
Yes.
Jack, first calls of the day, please.
Please.
The first call of the day with Jamie and Danny.
Danny.
Ready for action, nip it in the bud, we never relaxing. Outcast is everlasting. Look at the ticket, let's see your seatbelt fasten. Trunk rattling like 2 midgets in the back seat wrestling. Speaker box vibrate the tag, make it sound like aluminum cans in the back. But I know y'all wanted that 808.
Jesus.
I got a lot of sleep last night.
Clap off the beat. Focus, Dan. Focus.
They changed the beat. Well, I guess the dentist just wouldn't be that hot for me.
Well, not when you're clapping off beat, white boy.
Okay, I can't struggle with it. I can't dance at all.
Oh, gee whiz, Wally. That was horrible.
I'm gonna have a slow speed come apart. I can't dance with my dog.
Anyway, first calls of the day. And by the way, first call of the day gets tickets to see Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
It's coming back to the Pantages Theater beginning April 22nd for 7 weeks only. It's a great play.
It's a great show and a great theater, too.
Yes,
Good place to see a play.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Hi, you're the first call of the day. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What
Yeah,
can
you
we do
need
for
to
you
be
there,
a tad
Dave?
brighter now when we scream congratulations, buddy.
I think maybe you're getting on his nerves.
Huh?
You can't hit me.
Space and skip.
Anyway, go ahead, my friend.
Ow.
Yeah, well, what I want to say was, I listen every morning when I'm going to work and stuff, and, most of the time you complain about how, you got bad relationships and, going through a lot of problems and this and that.
This
Yeah.
isn't going to go well for you.
I was going through the same stuff myself, and not through any divorce or anything, but I was going through a really, really emotional time, and because of bad relationships in the past, and I totally shut myself off from anybody else, and I ended up having this girl that was trying to talk to me and trying to just make friends with me, and I totally cut her off. Didn't want to have nothing to do with her or anything. And she just kept, coming, you sure you don't want to talk, maybe I can help, I just trying to be your friend. And I just kept blowing her off. Sounds kind of the same situation that happened with you and this guy. And the funny situation is that you're saying that, this guy was a stalker and this and that. I don't know too many people who would give out their own number if they're trying to stalk you. And would
I think he was just scary persistent.
Yeah, the persistence was the thing.
I mean, do you really try that hard for somebody? I don't. I mean, I've tried for people and I've called them a million times and gone over the edge and been that psycho freak. But then at some point you go, okay, I quit.
Okay, the only time, because I make a public approach on a girl and she says, no, I'm gone, and I'm gone in shame. But what about, and this has been years, so I was younger and lustier, but what about those chicks you pick up and
That
they say,
day happened?
Yes. Well, no, just give me a chance. When the girls would say, you'd bring them home and then they'd go, well, I'll sleep over, but I really don't want to do anything. But they've already made out with you, so you think they're just saying to go a little slower and stuff, and they keep shutting you down. That's when I get persistent.
Well, that's rape.
No, I don't get that persistent, you nut. It's just like you kiss them again, they're making out, and you try and slide up, and then all of a sudden they slam that arm down so you can't get to the breastises.
Yeah.
And then
We're not ready.
You'll make out some more, and you'll make out some more. She's giving it a slam down on that hand again. You'll try that like 3 or 4 times before you realize, all right, man, she's going to break my knuckles. I got to quit.
So you'll go for the booby gusto.
Yeah, even though she said, I just want to kiss and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. It's like, you're a grown woman. There's no reason to sit here and make out. That's stupid. Let's move along. And then, kaboom.
Yeah. Well, I get what you're saying. You try for the boob.
Yeah, you go. That's
Because
exactly what you do.
I mean,
And then if you
talking
get
about-
that, you move on.
Ugh.
You're talking about
There's
if
somebody's
you would've been
dream
married,
boat.
How do you know this isn't the guy that might change everything and you end up getting married to?
Because I just know, Dave. I just know in my heart. You know how you have to follow
He
your
was wearing an arrow through his head.
You just know when somebody's not right. And Jerry at Bank of America just wasn't right for me. But thank you for your call. Hold
thanks
on
for worrying
line.
about it.
Hold on, though. You get the ABBA tickets. Here's Beth. Hi, Beth.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
Morning.
How are you guys? I love your show.
Well,
I've been
we
listening to
love
guys
you.
for maybe the last 3 years,
Right
and
on.
you make my long drive to work.
Thank you.
Well, Beth,
best
that is
thing.
very kind of you. Now, what the hell were you calling about?
Well, I was calling because I could totally identify with the whole meltdown issue about marriage and when is the guy going to get on the ball and just do it. I've been with this guy for 4 years, love him to death. He's been divorced and has a little girl. Greatest father I've ever come across because that little girl is going to think that she's the best thing on earth and nobody can make her feel any less. He's
Okay.
make sure of that.
All right.
My meltdown kind of happened about a week and a half ago. We're going through some stuff like, we're planning to move and there's money issues and blah, 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 blah. And, we've been talking about marriage and so forth. So, he mentioned something about getting a tattoo and he was going to drop like maybe $1,500, $2,000 on a tattoo.
Huh?
Yeah. No,
that
if
just
he's doing
made
his
me
like his full
kinda-
back.
Huh?
Yes. Yes.
This little,
$1,500 or $2,000 for a tattoo, and
That
you
was
guys
a
have
hun-
money issues?
that was 150.
Hey, dude, get out a Sharpie.
There's your answer.
It's 98 cents.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be a pretty good artist. You don't want to just give it to the kids and have them write that funny, smiley face thing on his back.
It amazes me what people's priorities are. We have money issues, but hey, I'm going to get me a $2,000 tattoo.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'll throw money right out the window. The only thing, it's funny, you've said that money leaks out my orifices.
Yes, I said out of your nose hole because I'm
It's
allowed
exactly
to.
what you said, right. But you know what freaks me out and sends me over the edge?
What?
If I find a CD in my house without a case, I start screaming. Why don't we just throw $15 out the window? Money doesn't grow on trees. These things are expensive. And then usually I've stolen them from Chris Paddock, but that is not the point.
I imagine being in your home and everybody's just shaking their head behind your back.
Friggin' Dante does it. 3 years old.
Even the dog, like, bow wow. It really needed the
Jamie
head
and
going
Danny
back and
now.
forth for you people.
1-877-487-9999. 7.
Thank you. I will be called an ass now, thanks. Danny,
Now, like it's brand new.
Anyway, all right, we're talking about slow speed come aparts, whether you're single, married, whatever. And Beth was telling us some long story, and
Right. Now, your slow speed come apart was that some guy called you on being alone.
yeah,
Right?
right.
My slow speed come apart has been, for the other side of that coin, because I'm, as I said, the shallowest man in the shallowest city, that being married, I can't sleep with hot chicks. Aside from my wife, if you're listening. I mean,
Now, did you get a trophy for that?
not sleeping with hot chicks?
No, shallowest man in the shallowest city. Is there an award?
It's been pointed out. It's not like a secret to anybody
Wow.
that I'm shallow.
You
but
need a badge.
this was actually a fairly deep slow speed come apart. This was important. I have become what you would think is the admirable position of becoming my daughter's best friend.
That's never good.
Right. God.
That only happens in divorces.
You know what? Right. Like stealing the other kid, but it's so unfair to Gretchen too. What I have done, and this is why it's bad for me, I've become Isabella's best friend. So what happens is whenever I tell her to do something she doesn't want to do, it's no longer a reasonable parent saying do your homework or eat your vegetables. It's your best friend in the whole world all of a sudden just changing character. And she gets heartbroken at the prospect of having her best friend turn on her.
Well, what you got here, Danny Bonaducci, is a case of badass parenting.
I'm afraid
Not badass, like just bad.
Bad. I would hate to. I would love to disagree with you and say what a guy, because I'm always there. I'm
Well, yeah,
always
'cause
there for.
Usually it happens, like I said, when there's a divorce and it happens out of guilt. And also it happens if you're a stepmom, because I
Right.
know for me, I was a stepmom and I acted like I was their best
But I could be
I
wrong.
was.
I could have done no damage at all. I don't know. Are the phones on?
Yes. Yeah, push that little button there.
I can't
bastard.
actually talk while dialing.
I tell you that every time and you yell at me. And now all of a sudden you can't and it's okay.
Yes.
I'm not okay with any of this.
She's going, kids. She's going.
I am. Bye-bye.
Here she goes.
They have
She's
no
going to
idea.
put on the ears and go crazy.
Hi.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Happy. How are you?
Good.
What's wrong? You don't sound so happy.
Oh, I'm fine.
Oh, okay. All right. Good,
You know
good,
why
good.
she's unhappy?
Why?
She has to go to school today.
Well, of course she does.
I know, but she's unhappy about it, just like every other
Hey,
morning.
Isabella, how many days has your dad pulled you out just to play with you?
I don't think he's ever pulled me out to play with me, but I had to skip 2 days because I had a rash.
Yeah, I've had to skip a couple of days over my rash, too, but don't tell your mother.
What kind of rash did you have?
I had, it looked like spider bites, kind of.
Wow.
She got it from the pool, if you know what I'm saying. Oh.
Wow, that's not good. What, did they put some ointment on it?
We got a couple of those cotton balls and
balls.
Yeah, the cotton balls.
Cotton balls.
Cotton balls.
What's she saying? Cotton.
Leave my child alone. I have other issues.
All
Aunt
right.
Jamie's on acid, honey.
So you got cotton balls and what?
And in my room there's a whole bottle, and because
Really, yours
In
too.
Daddy's room, there's a whole bottle. Again, don't tell your mother.
and
So
well,
what, like self-treatment?
No.
it was stuff that would make you stop itching.
Oh, calamine lotion.
Yes.
Ah, there
On
we go.
Daddy's room.
I know. All right. Well, good
so,
for you.
Honey, here is my question for you, if you don't mind, before you go to school.
Yeah.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
Who is your best friend in the whole wide world?
In the whole wide world.
In the whole wide world.
I could count you and my friends at school.
All right,
or
me-
would it have to
Oh,
be
that is
just one?
precious.
Wow. Okay.
I know
No, I
she's not
told you.
remembering
I
it.
told you before we went. She didn't even know I'm
Isabella,
calling.
didn't your dad tell you exactly what to say right there?
No.
No, swear this is off the cuff, hoping for the best.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah?
My best friend in the whole wide world is you and Mom and Dante.
Oh, that is
Oh,
precious.
Okay.
Oh,
It's
wow.
also crap.
Hey, how old
she
are you?
hates her little brother.
How old are you?
9.
Some people would say that they have like little girls that are their best friends. You know, like their own age.
Do you know what? That's a weird thing. Computers now have ruined that.
Not for most kids.
No, I asked at school because I don't think Isabella has a best friend anymore. And I said, I don't know my daughter has any real close friends. And the teacher said, you're the 5th parent this week to say, when I was a little girl, I had best friends. They say, it's computer. They sit on the internet
Wow,
all
the
day.
5th one?
Yeah.
Now I have Alice and Jenna and Stevie and.
All right, honey,
Stevie's hot.
honey,
Oh my gosh.
and you're the only 9-year-old I know that I hope would understand this. You're killing Daddy's bit.
And guess what?
What?
I don't care.
Yay
Yeah,
for Isabel. All right, so your mommy, your daddy, your brother are your best friends.
Who's the better parent, me or mommy?
That's an unfair question.
Why?
Because what would you say if I asked which brother did you like better, Anthony or Anthony?
Wow.
You mean Anthony or John?
Anthony or John? Yeah.
Anthony lives in Mexico and can't hear the show, so I'd say John.
What if you ask which kid do you like better? See?
I'd say Isabella because Dante's not on the phone.
You are an awful father.
I
Hey,
am.
Isabella, answer your mother. Your mom is the better parent. Believe me.
It's not true. Daddy lets you eat chocolate 3 meals a day.
I would answer your mom by far is the sturdy parent.
Okay.
All right. Mom's the very careful, supportive parent because you don't care what I eat or what time my bedtime
nice.
is.
Nice.
But you're the
Psychotic.
No, she's going to say
insane
fun.
one.
I'm not insane.
Of course you are.
Of course, I
Yes,
am
you
going
are.
to the psychiatrist later today.
What's the craziest thing your dad's ever
Oh,
done with
geez,
you?
So not fair.
Why?
The craziest things my dad's ever done with me.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Want to tell her about your naginata?
That sticks out. Oh, don't give her any ideas. That
Oh,
sticks
that's-
out in your mind.
Let's see. Hang on.
Okay.
It was in Mexico.
Oh, this sounds bad already.
What was it, Isabella?
He let me go on a horse. We went horseback riding, and then my dad had that horse in the morning.
Yeah.
And well, it was like a really mean horse, and it was being funky on my dad. So when I was sitting on it, and when we were turning around, it ran away. It ran maybe as fast as it could toward back to where the horses are.
And you were on it?
Yeah.
By yourself?
But I came after. Oh, no, I was sitting at the bar.
Were you by yourself?
Yeah.
And your dad was at the bar?
No. Solia was there, but Dad was riding on
What
the
about,
horse.
wasn't it the same vacation there where I stood up and surfed on the horse?
Yes, and you tried to flip on the horse, too.
Was Daddy drinking then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was in Mexico unchaperoned and I wasn't drinking.
You've said before you've gone places.
Watch this. Hey, senorita, 20 pesos. Watch the kids. I was large and in charge.
Did you have like babysitters that were nice Mexican women? Hello?
Dad?
Yeah?
Dante wants to say hi. Is that okay with you?
Sure. Why not? We've stopped the
Say
show
Dante.
already.
You Dante, say hi. Hi.
Hi, Dante. I love you.
I love you.
Your mom's a truck. He doesn't understand a lot.
Crazy man. I love you.
I love you.
That is precious.
Your sister's made of bologna. It's a 3-year-old, man. What am I going to converse?
All right, Isabella, we have to take a little break.
I love you.
Wait, now, what was the point of this? I forget.
I don't know because it didn't work out. It was like, who's the good parent? Who's the best friend? And is it tragic that I've become the best friend and can't make her do any dad things?
Oh, do you feel like that your dad doesn't, what's that, like, make any rules for you?
No, and plus the horse thing, my cousin's horse lost its rein, so the horse was running in the ocean, and she had to control it by the mane.
Okay, see, here's the thing. I am an expert horseback rider, and then
my
I really am. And then when
Her butt, she said.
Then when I drink, I become a really tall, handsome, excellent horseback rider, and I didn't have a lot of time for these kids.
Wow. All right. Well, Isabella,
Thanks for bringing up bad parenting across international borders. That's really the way I was going this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, gotta run.
Bye, Isabella. Have a great day at school.
Yeah, or whatever.
Bye.
Bye.
You can't say whatever. Now she's going to feel like she didn't perform for you because you're a
Dude,
stage father.
she pointed out Mexico. That was so not where I was going because I really didn't deliver on that.
She's 9. She doesn't know where you want her to go.
Okay, here's what happened to Mexico. The ATVs were there. We had all ridden them, and it went safely. That's when I said, here's $300. I'll be sitting right there.
Wow, you are a great parent.
Hey, I had $300 to give her. What
Wow.
kid's got $300?
Hey, Jack, you take lessons from the Dan, okay? He's a great parent.
Boy, I had a really good parenting segment all planned out.
Parent was a fascinating
It
segment.
wasn't supposed to be a bad. I'm a bad parent. It was supposed to be my very emotional and touching slow speed come apart.
But everybody knows you're not supposed to be a kid's best friend, you know? I mean, even me when I was the stepmom, you know, you're supposed to be the disciplinarian. But because I didn't have rights to those kids, there was no blood. You know, it was.
Oh, there was no blood. I was going to say, wow, you are a bad parent.
But there was, you know, it's better to be like their supporter
Right.
only because I was on the outside.
Right.
So, but you, on the other hand.
But that was supposed to be, and I hate to have to explain what was supposed to happen on the radio because it just
I thought you
happened.
taught her and taught her and taught her.
No,
Perform.
as you can see, went blind on this one. I'm just concerned that my parenting skills have made me the best friend instead of the appropriate parent. And you know what? When I don't let her eat chocolate, now, you know, Gretchen's going to England like next week to see Duran Duran, and I'm large and in charge, and that kid expects ice cream, chocolate, and cherries 3 meals a day.
You know, there's something to be said about like the fun dad and mom's gone. And so, yeah, you play that role sometimes. I can remember, and I think my father's one of the finest. I mean, you know, honestly, I think I'm one of the few kids that gets to say I had parents that were absolutely phenomenal
Yes,
parents.
you do. Yes, you're one of the few people that get that.
And I'm really blessed. And my dad was the disciplinarian, and he was strict, and by golly, you didn't cross him. See, that's the difference because he was also the fun dad, like that would bring the garden hose inside the house and say, you want a piece of this? And then you're like, yeah, right, and then squirt you.
I've actually told you this, though. Here's where my difficulties come in with that. I'll try and say, don't do that. It's bad for you. And my daughter said to me, and I swear to God, Dad, I saw the behind the music on you.
But there's also...
That's a little different for me.
And not to bring up the sad thing, but there's also an issue with that child trying to figure out if you're the drunk fun dad or if you're... You know what I mean? Like, so she's probably...
Right, because she's... Well, no, I'm fun. So I'm less fun when I'm drinking. I don't want to be moved.
No, but I mean, she probably doesn't know, like, which... Because with my father, it was like, okay, when he's in fun mode, he's full-blown fun mode. But when he meant business, you understood, and there was no crossing him.
That's my problem. That's where I have a really weird thing, because my dad was actually violent, as you know. And you did what he said. When I tell my kids what to do, without the best friend thing or not, when I tell Isabella what to do, this little girl makes a decision. You know what I mean? Like there's an opportunity not to do what I told her to do.
Well, that's your fault. You
That
created
is my fault.
that.
That is my absolute fault. Although
you created the disrespect for you.
Gretchen's the tough mom.
That was a good one.
Gretchen's the tough mom, and the kids still make a decision. I think it's because the fear of beating them has been taken away. Nobody beats their kids anymore, which I think is a mistake.
I do too, actually.
Okay, we agree.
But you
on
know
that.
what? You can do better with Dante. Why don't you try,
I'm gonna
try
again.
harder?
I'm going to try harder with Dante.
Yeah, because that first one's just kind of an experiment, and then the second one comes along, you're like, okay, I made a lot of mistakes.
See, yeah, but I didn't even bother. The first kid, everything's like safe and sound and normal. With Dante, I didn't even childproof the house. I just figured eventually he'll get tired of, banging into stuff and putting his finger in the socket.
And taking that Ica-Pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets old
he'll be
after a while.
fine. It's like the second kid. Yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah, all right, well, that's great.
Well,
I'm Danny Bonaducci, and I'm a great parent.
I am a great parent. I'm a fabulous parent.
You cannot have just spent the last half hour of my time and then make that statement.
I am a fabulous parent. I'm just not the world's most appropriate parent. They're safe. They're sound. I provide for them. I love them. I do homework. Well, okay, that's crap. I'm just
There
trying to
is
get
a
myself out of
kid
trouble.
on a runaway horse in Mexico, and you're at a bar.
Is she hurt?
I guess
She's well traveled.
I guess it's if you want to justify your actions, then you shall.
I do. We're on the radio. Are you crazy? To some
I'm sorry.
people, a kid on a runaway horse while daddy's at the bar might sound like, irresponsible.
Hey, Jack, what was that shirt that you wore 3 days ago?
The Mr. Fantastic?
No, I'm world's greatest dad.
Oh, world's greatest dad, hands down.
Yeah, did you ever get one of those shirts, World's Best Dad?
Yeah, unfortunately it was Jack's and I borrowed it.
I just don't see you wearing the World's Best Dad t-shirt.
If somebody would make me one.
The only difference is his had little margarita handprints on it.
I'm starting to hate you guys.
We're supporting you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, let's finish up with Beth. We were talking about slow speed come aparts, whether it be in a parenting situation where you realize, oh my God, I'm a great parent. Sorry.
Right.
Maybe you, Jack, you've had those days where you're not a
Right.
great parent.
Hey, it's amazing that his website is drunkjack.com and I'm coming off bad here.
It is shocking, isn't it?
It is shocking. I'm shocked and appalled at your behavior.
So whether you've had a slow speed come apart being, the world's greatest father.
No, that you didn't turn out to be, that you missed that boat possibly on being the just right dad. And I feel I've missed that boat.
I'm sorry, the boat. the boat you were drinking on and came ashore and landed on a shore and at a public beach.
You know what's wrong with you guys?
And then I think there was one story where his daughter was out swimming, remember? And she was in her little that little outfit.
Bathing suit?
No, but it's to keep her warm, and then you realize that you become separated from her in the ocean.
Oh, no. I got her a surfing lesson, which was 2.5 hours laying flat on a board. No sunscreen.
No. This is when you owned the boat. And you realize that, oh my God, if...
Oh, I can see her.
This is like shark-infested waters.
No,
and my daughter looks like a little baby seal.
I'm not going with this one. Oh, yeah. Dude, I got her this wetsuit and just threw her over the side of the boat. I went with her. But then I realized I have taken a 4-year-old kid and dressed her up in a seal suit and thrown her in the ocean.
And then you were chumming around her, which was weird.
I was not chumming.
Jack, that's not when you're friends like chummy. It's when you take chopped up fish and throw it out in the water.
No, she was way over there, which was cool. I could still see her.
I could see her.
And then I realized
there's no riptide.
At the time, hey, I'm a chain-smoking asthmatic. I'm not sure I can get to that kid. This is bad.
But hey, he's the greatest. You are a great
You
dad.
asked my kid, did you have fun in the chum suit and wearing the seal suit with the shark? She did. She doesn't know she was in danger.
Call James.